So guys, it's Luke here of SimBoxx in association with Clint Patrick. We're down here at the People's Gym, the live workout, the public workout ahead of April 8th's show in Manchester. Delighted to be joined by Sweet M&M, Morrison. Marcus, how are we doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
Good man, so just seen you in there, having a bit of a move around, the side of Christmas. How's things? How's things personally?
Yeah, good. Chief had a bit of a lazy Christmas, but New Year got straight back in and started looking for a date and getting back fit.
But also, we were coming out of a pandemic situation, a pandemic era, if you like. But you managed to be reasonably active last year. You got out 3 times, some big shows. So let's start back at the beginning. You got the opportunity to fight with Eubank on the big show in Manchester. Was it Derek Schiller, Joseph Parker won? I think that was the last time we spoke as well. We had a Zoom interview just before that. Yeah, let's talk about that fight. I think it was written off before the fight. People seen you as, no disrespect to cannon fodder maybe, that it was a mismatch and that he was going to get blown away there early. Again, not my opinion, but the general consensus. But you went in there, you gave a good account yourself, you went the distance. What did you make of the fight? What did you make of your performance and proving those that said that you was going to go in there and you wouldn't last a couple of rounds?
Yeah, listen, before the fight, it weren't a case of going in there and giving a good account of myself. The plan was always to go in there and get the win. And I honestly believed down in my heart that I could have gone and win that fight, and was going to go and win that fight. It didn't pay off. Watched the fight back since it happened and kicked myself a little bit, to be honest. I think it was times in the fight I should have maybe put my foot down a little bit more, and I think I hurt Chris on a couple of occasions in there. And I think if I would have put my foot down a little bit more, the result possibly could have been different, but it's been and gone now, and yeah, I do believe after that fight my stock did rise, and I got fights off the back of that.
Yeah, so you had the comments from Chris in the aftermath of the fight saying he could have went for the knockout, he could have pressed it, but he said this also with the fight with Liam Williams recently as well. So what do you take from that? Is that just Chris and his ego, do you think?
He couldn't have stopped me. Honestly, we could have been fighting till now. He wouldn't have stopped me that night. I can honestly say I don't think Chris Eubank Jr. is the biggest of punchers. I think he's made out to be this beast and this huge puncher, this monster, but he's really not. And I think if we'd have knew that before the fight, and maybe didn't have that in the back of my mind that it's Chris Eubank Jr. He's a big puncher, he's ferocious and this and that. Even getting on the scales, stood in front of me, I thought, no, you're not as big as I thought you would be. You're not this beast that you made out to be. And I do, like I said, if I knew then what I know now, I maybe could have made the fight into a different fight and maybe a different result.
So after that you went in with Lewis Van Pouch, tough Rollman, you got the win there, and then the big opportunity with Zach Parker on BT. So you've gone from a big show on Sky, you've got a big opportunity on BT. Unfortunately, the fight didn't go your way, and it was the first stoppage loss of your career. How bitter of a pill was that to swallow, Marcus, in the aftermath?
Yeah, it was. It was, like I said, first time I've ever been down. Amateur, pro, sparring. I've never touched the canvas, and it was painful to. I say it's painful. It was both painful in the night and painful, like I said, a pill to swallow. And coming out of that fight, it was a massive opportunity for me. It was one that I couldn't turn down. I've never been shy of a fight, as long as it makes sense and it's worth it. The pros outweigh the cons, if you like. And I'm scared of no man, and I'll fight anyone as long as it's right and makes sense. It's a huge opportunity. Because that Parker now, he's going on to fight for a world title, and that was what I was looking to do. I thought, I win that fight, I go and take that spot. He was sitting comfortable in the #1 spot, and it was a huge opportunity and one that I wasn't going to turn down. Unfortunately for me, it didn't pay off.
Yes, you mentioned there that it was the first stoppage loss of your career, but there was times in that fight, when you went down, you got back up multiple times, shown a lot of heart, a lot of bravery. So was there also an opportunity to look back at that fight and take positives from it, even though it was a bitter pill to swallow and that you had to get over the first loss, but also that you knew you've got the grit, the determination, the heart to go there, get knocked down and keep getting back up and almost prove to yourself, if you like. Those questions can't be answered, I guess, until...
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but that was never... My heart's never been questioned, and it never will be. If I can get to my feet, I believe you me, I'll get to my feet. And and then listen, you put me down, I'll get back up. And there's times in that fight where I could have easily stayed down and thought, it's a long night this. And I've always said, I would hate, one of my worst fears is having the towel through him for me. I'd literally rather go out my shield, and even if I wasn't able to get back up, I'd rather that than be saved, if you like. And deep down I think Joe knows that. Joe's heard me say before, you know, if he ever needed to be saved and had a towel thrown in for me, you know, that'd cut deep. And I've always said as well, you know, after giving out, you know, plenty of good hidings and stopping people, even on the feet, you know, it's not. I wouldn't like to be saved and sort of pulled out. I'd rather go out on my shield, and you know, it is what it is.
So you say there, you know, that you had a relaxed Christmas. You know, I bet that was a bit of a bonus. But you know, we're moving into a new year, 2022. You've shown in your career that you bounced back from setbacks. You know, you had your setbacks early in your career, and then you went over to Italy, scored a career best knockout win. So is there an excitement there to know that you can bounce back from these setbacks, and that there is, you know, more positives and more big wins in the career of Marcus Morrison's come?
Yeah, I think, you know, like I said, it's a new year, and you know, although I had big opportunities, it was at super middleweight. You know, I got on the scales at 12 stone 1. I put a pound on overnight. I've never been a super middleweight. You know, coming up to that fight, I did 2 or 3 times the day before just to get the scales at 12 stone. So, you know, listen, there's no excuse. I'm not saying, you know, I didn't prepare for the fight. I did prepare for the fight, but you know, he was naturally a much bigger man, and these super middleweights are too big for me. And I think, you know, back down at middleweight, I think it's a new year, and I'd like to push on now at middleweight and get stuck into some meaty fights.
You know, so just before we move on there, I think you're ideally positioned that we fought both in 2021, and it's a fight that I think Frank Warren mentioned. Chris Eubank and Zach Parker. It was your prediction if that fight ever materialised?
Zach Parker stops Eubank. He's far too big, far too strong, and that fight doesn't go this. Like I've been in with some big punches, you know, with sparring. I've been in with some big punches, and I'm gonna say Chris Eubank's not. He's not one of them, and you know Zach Parker is. And Zach Parker has to stop it over Chris Eubank Jr. for me.
So, you know, God willing, you get the victory there on April 8th, you know, you get back to winning ways. What can we expect from Marcus Morrison moving through 2022?
I just, you know, I'll get this fight out of the way, and I just want to be active, and you know, I feel like not a fresh start, but I feel like I've got a new sort of lease of life now, back down at middleweight, and I just want to kick on now and pick up some titles. And you know, I've been pro for 7 years now, 7 years, and I'm coming into my prime. I'm 29, just turned 29, so now is the time, you know, I really need to knuckle down and, you know, choose the right path, and you know, pick up some titles along the way.
Well, we look forward to April 8th. You know, I'm sure it'll be an exciting return to the ring, and we look forward to a big 2022. Best of luck with that, Marcus. I'll catch up again soon.
Cheers, pal.